Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. You're gonna have to ignore them roosters out there, they excited. I ordered me a roll, this elastic tubing, because I decided I wanted to make some slingshots. So I have one of these old, what they call a wrist rocket. I'm gonna cut this stuff off. Let me bring you in a little closer. Alright, so I'm gonna cut this rubber stuff off of here because I don't know if y'all can tell, but it is in bad shape and it ain't broke yet, but I don't trust it. And you can buy these replacement bands already ready to go. Get on Amazon, they there. But I wanted to make my own, adjust the length. These, and it may break right here, but I could barely pull it back far as I wanted to pull it back. So what I wanted to, and I think this is a little bit heavier material than what those other ones, I don't know if you can tell, but what I bought is a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna see if I can, I'm gonna cut mine just a hair longer right here. So I need enough to fold around. And then I want to cut it, I don't know, we're going to cut it about, we might ought to get us an actual measurement. Just so we know what we're going to cut all of them the same. Let's cut them all 11 inches. And I know y'all couldn't see that tape measure, it's rusted. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut two exactly the same. Them roosters out there, y'all, every time I go to talking, they get excited. And they way worse like right now in the morning time than they are. So I'm looking at how that is created. So basically they just put a slip in there. So I was curious of how easy or hard that was going to be to attach this. So basically what I need to do is come about yay far and just cut a slit in there. Alright. Let me figure out which way I need to go with it. Let's run this through, and I may need to use that mineral oil or something to so it would be great if I had something to stretch that open for me. And I'm sure at some point I will come up with something. And that's about what I figured. It really wasn't that hard to poke that through there. Where's some needle nose pliers? Alright, grab that in there. Alright, it's got a hold to it. Let me use this instead of So see, that was not very hard to do on my own. So let's do the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and dip the whole thing in this water to start with. I'm trying not to make a big mess right here because I'm working on some knives too. I got it letting the handles right there glue. So right there I'm just cutting half. Really probably not even quite half. Okay. And you can start from whichever side. There ain't no make sure you're doing them the same way. I would suggest that. Let's see if this makes it any easier. It did. So you can just reach in there like that with you. Okay, now once you got this done, it's just a matter of sticking it on here. So all we're gonna do now is shove it up on there real good. Now it is wet, so what I'm gonna do, instead of shooting it right now, we're gonna set this over here in the sun and let it dry. So I'm not gonna pull on it too hard because I figure it will come off pretty easy. So we're gonna set it right over here in the sunshine or hang it in the sunshine. I think right there is a swell place. It'll be sunshine right there for a little bit. Let that dry. And we may make another one here in a little bit. So while that one's drying, old timers, I made these as a kid. And what we all used for, use these, they lay in here. Why not, huh? So, we made these out of all different kind of stuff as a youngin', and we just took a pocket knife and whittled out us a fork and stick out of some kind of hardwood usually. And you can get as elaborate and fancy or as crude as you want to be with it. All it's got to be is a good fork and stick. So what I was going to do right here is probably try to cut this one off. Probably need to cut it with a saw. And do some whittling and cleaning up on it. And then what I always done, I'll use this for demonstration because I ain't ready to it. We would fold this over the top like that, and then we'd take the string out of an old feed sack. Because, you know, back in the old days, you could use whatever was laying around. Wrap that around and tie that good, and that was what we used for a slingshot. And any leather on the bottom would work. So I'm gonna cut this stuff all off. I'm probably gonna use a saw because, I mean, you got tools now to work with. And we may sand it down, clean it up, and try to make it look good. But me and Brody cut this stick the other day when we was down in the woods doing something. And I may sand it all out and see what we come up with here. We're gonna make one like this with this kind of a rubber band on it instead of the old bicycle inner tube. We always use bicycle inner tubes, but now inner tubes just don't have the elasticity that this stuff right here has. So we're gonna cut this about the same, or should we make it 12? Let's make it 12 because I'm gonna attach it different. We got enough of that to make several if we want to. Well, let me cut my... I gotta get me a piece of leather. That shouldn't be a problem. We're gonna do this the same way on this end. Get my can right here of scrap leather. I don't know how big of a piece I need. I may want it a little bigger and better. So I tried to leave the top a ledge and taper just the bottom. So maybe you can see that. Pull me out some string. I decided melting it was better than cutting it, and then you can stick it back on there. So I figured out if you'll pull it about even with the top, when you stretch it over, then you about right. Then you put that in there and make sure it's tied down below your knots. Make sure you wrap this tight. Now I know I'm getting all out of frame. I can't really help it, so. I tried to stay in frame. Does that count? Now on this, I don't tie a square knot. I tie a granny knot. Y'all know the difference? A granny knot will slip and cinch tighter. And then when I melt it, in other words, I can keep pulling on that granny knot and it'll keep getting tighter there. And then I'm gonna melt this without melting my inner tube, my rubber. All right, y'all. All right, I got a couple of ball bearings. They're fairly small. That's what I'm gonna start out, but we can use rocks, whatever. I ain't got one in there, but see, I can draw that way on back. I like that. I like that. So let's go see if we can hit anything with it. I got me a peaches in heavy syrup jar. Well, tin can, soup can like. We're gonna shoot at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 right here. So let me back y'all up a little bit. Try to do this right. This is about 10 yards now. Y'all, I probably ain't gonna hit this right off the bat. Oh, I didn't miss it by a long shot. Let's see. Oh, I hit right under it, y'all. Oh, did y'all see that on the third shot? We nailed it. Now, I don't know if it's got enough oomph to kill something. But... Oh, 2 in a row. We're gonna get good with this before it's over with. So anyway, so I'm gonna show you where I hit it. I hit one right here. There's a dent in that post right there. But now look, I had this full of water is why it didn't just fly off of there. But now look at there, y'all. It put a pretty good dent in the side of that can. So we had talked on a live here a while back about a possible slingshot situation. This is what I like. Now, obviously, I got the little wrist rocket. It's going to probably be more accurate and all, but the thing about the wrist rocket is the shape of it, it's hard to pack up. When you take a forked stick like this, you can hide this about anywhere. I mean, this is the old country boys, that's where it went right there, you know. But you got all this dangling, so we might have to go back to toting no slingshot, you know, for emergency situation. So anyway, we're gonna start playing with a slingshot a little bit along, you know, it's summertime, just shooting it, whatever. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.